pop quiz. What's the last book you read? Tell me. Because, while you do that, yes. Go ahead, tell me. And there's only a few. Now, what we need to discuss is the importance of reading. A lot of people are going to call you, all type names, all type stuff. But then again, that's how the world is, especially with people who are what can be considered of a lesser caliber. And I don't mean this in a derogatory or shameful way. It's just you're doing something up here, they're doing something down here. And one of the most powerful things in the world is knowledge. You hear the saying all the time, knowledge is power. If you know how to do something, then I would say, if you know how to do something, you are much better off than the person who doesn't know how to do that same thing, even if they are physically or mentally capable of it, because they don't know how to do it, and you do. Then we extend that out. A lot of the time, at least now, most of the reading that people do happens inside or for school. So it's a book that the school gave you, such as this one right here, Johnny Got His Gun. It's a very good book, you should consider it. But then with time, you're going to come to realize that the knowledge that you really want to start acquiring, you got to seek it out. Like, you have to find books that explain that. Like, if you want to understand people better, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, very good book for that. Or, let's say you want to expand your library, like you want to have some more books in there. We've got Books for Living by Will Swabble. And, you've been trying your best to improve and become the best version of yourself, but you're kind of flattening out, and you want to know, why is that happening? We have The Plateau Effect by Rob Sullivan and Hugh Thompson. Hope I pronounced that right. And you want to understand the language that you speak more, such as English. We have A Dictionary of Euphemisms and Other Double Talk, being a compilation of linguistic fig leaves and verbal flourishes for artful users of the English language by Hugh Rawson. Now, like I mentioned at the start, knowledge is power. If you do not understand, you are not capable. If you are not aware, you are not in tune. And often, knowledge is suppressed not only by governmental powers, such as school districts, the government itself, religious organizations, because they don't want people to know. If you know, then you are powerful. And a lot of books that were given in schools, such as the history books, are very outdated, are very written from one perspective. Like, you always hear the point of view of the person who won the war, not the person who got blown up. You always hear the perspective of the church, not the people that were exiled and burnt alive by the church. You always hear the perspective of the slave owner rather than the perspective of the slave. And by suppressing that knowledge, they can limit it. Because if all you know is it's always been this way, it's this, like this is what you know, you don't realize that there's all this around that and above that and inside of that. But by only letting you know this little bit, I can stop you from seeing everything else. And if you don't see everything else, I have control of you. That is why you should read. You don't want to be in a position where you always have to call somebody to find out something, or you always have to ask somebody else for the answer, when rather you can get that answer yourself. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with asking for the answers, such as if you don't know the answer and you just need to know. There's nothing wrong with asking. It's actually a really like mature and proper thing to have the courage to let somebody know that you do not know, and to request the information from them. Right? That's a very noble thing in a way. And you also want to be aware that not only that, like not only do you not want to just be constrained by someone else from your knowledge perspective, but also when you need to fix stuff around your house. There's books on how to fix your plumbing, how to make a meal, such as cookbooks. There's books on repairing a vacuum, like the manual for that. There's books on fixing a TV. There's books on all these things. There's books on philosophy, on being a doctor, on all these great things. And if you don't read, you won't know. Like, yeah, the internet, you can find just about anything on there. But another great benefit of reading a book versus reading the article off the laptop or the audiobook is that it improves your focus. Like, you need to be able to focus in order to read. I need some water. You need to be able to focus in order to read through a whole book. And especially when it's like a book that deals with like a deep subject, like understanding why people behave a certain way, or understanding language itself, or things like, being a doctor, for example. The medical books you have to read are pretty big. So you need to be able to focus on to read that. And that focus transfers into everything else in your life. Like, you start to be able to focus more on your schoolwork, on your job, on your family, on meditation, if you go down that route, on so many wonderful things. Not only that, but it's also great to have knowledge around you physically. Like, yeah, I can go Google all the books I have right now, read them online. But there's just something beautiful about having something you can like feel and see and open and flip through. I can hear it. It's something like solid. It's tangible. And the thing with the internet is, as great as it is, it's not tangible. Like, you cannot hold that. You cannot hold the information. You can hold the device, but you can't hold the satellites and the databases that contain that information. Whereas with a book, you can. And you really do not want to be in the position to be held back by not knowing. Like, nobody knows everything. I don't know everything. Nobody knows every single thing. Oh, that's a beautiful plane. But you can find out information. Like, to become a better person, I have a channel for that. To, become a better parent, a better father, a better mother, better sibling, better son, better daughter, become a better cook, learn how to cook, learn how to fix a car. There's books on all these things, there's videos on all these things, but by having the book there, it makes your brain have to like really tune in. Whereas with a video, you can be doing something else. With a book, you have full focus on your book. So it trains your brain to be focused, to be like really zoomed in. And that's just one of the few reasons why I should read books. And to recap everything, you don't want to become a slave to not knowing. You want to broaden your horizon, like see more perspectives of not only other people's lives, but by seeing others, you can also understand yourself more. Like, you read a book on how people are, like human nature, for example. You can look into yourself and go, yeah, that's right, that makes sense here. And you see it in other people too. So you understand the world, you understand yourself, you become a more well-rounded individual. You're able to focus more. All these wonderful benefits. And all it takes is, a book. And if you don't have a lot of money, there's thrift stores, for example. Most thrift stores have a book section. Like, I got Book for Living for $1. I got Euphemisms and Other Double Talk for $3. Plateau Effect for $2. And those are just the ones I got from thrift store only. The other ones I either got from school or were gifted to me. But if y'all need any more clarification on that, go in the comments and let me know. This one's pretty short by comparison to most of what I make. So I hope that it's really connected with y'all. And that's all I got for y'all. Keep it up. I'm always here for you. Bye-bye.